let's wrap up the week and look ahead towards next week. The dollar just continued to accelerate. In fact, almost got to targets. I was talking about 109. All right. So let's learn a lesson from what I did. Okay. And remember, I was shorting the dollar and made money. And this was before the election. Okay. And then after the election, I tried the yen last week and that worked. Went right to the trend line from this trade. Remember, probe, partials, protect, and I haven't put them back out here. So the top's probably in. Anyway, this is the way I see the dollar now. This is the most important area. So if you want to be bearish a dollar, we need closes or action back under 105.70. Okay, this was the big breakout line that I showed you. And the lesson is don't trade counter trend until a high conviction target is achieved. Okay, so I was talking 109 all the way back here. My mistake, even though I made money a few times in the dollar index and the yen, I also got stopped out trying some euro longs and some Aussie longs. And that's because I was looking for a pullback to 102.5 that never happened. So now we're like 2/3 of the way through of this move. And 108, 109 could happen anytime. So what do you do now if you still want to get on board a dollar rally? Is that you wait for a pullback to 105.70, right around this area, and you buy it for the move to 108 or higher. The other trade that could set up would be, uh, for example, the dollar making new highs into next week, approaching that target. We got as high as 106.70, so there's still a couple hundred pips there. We'll see what happens with I'm not going to trade the short side of the dollar. I may trade the short side of the yen next week. Okay. So what's the difference? The difference is this, that the yen could rally because of risk off. So I didn't take the short in the S&Ps up here, even though it was close, pretty close to 6,100. And here's the reason why. The 4-hour kept me out. The weekly was saying do it. Okay. We diverged and we have a reversal week now in the S&Ps, which if this is significant, can lead to U.S. dollar yen selling off on a flight to quality. I do believe it's going to get a flight to quality bid. The yen is going to be bid, which means U.S. dollar yen should be topping in this zone. Okay, so that's the currencies. I put out tweets and also some posts in the main room on silver when we almost got down to this line that I showed you um, earlier in the week. Said I think we could get down towards 29.5. The actual low was 68. But now I'm looking for a recovery back to 32, 32.5, and for that to fail and eventually trade down to 27.5. My call for $2,400 gold is not looking as aggressive as it was when I was making it up here. Gold as well is testing an important support level, a breakout level, and we could get some type of recovery to 26.5 or so. That's an $80 rally, and another $1.30 or so in silver. When it comes to yields, they're relentless. Okay, so that I was wrong about yields. TLT really is looking pretty ugly. And I thought I may as well bring this up to you guys now. Um, Two bearish scenarios in TLT would be um, that we pull back towards 85. This is a very ugly week. Okay. And you know what it makes me think? That, all the people, especially with the red wave in Congress, I know people are front running the Trump trade, but is it possible that we're going to have a third drive to a bottom? And this could really be behind what causes problems for risk, and that the 10-year, even if it pulls back, looks like it's headed for new all-time highs for a three to test the 5% level. And we could get pullbacks there, just like we can in the dollar. Um, Nat gas is pulling back. I think it's a break to buy, and this is a classic. The week it's not closing great on the week, but this is a classic gap play. So I was saying the most bullish thing the market could do is eat into the gap but not fill it. I didn't think this would be filled, and we're putting in a pretty good day. Someone asked me about WTI when I was on with Mike on Tuesday, and I said, let's just wait for low 60s. And that looks like that's in progress. And the low 60 level is a line I've had in crude for a long time, comes in down here. So we'll see what happens down here in uh, in the crude. Let's see how some of the shares are acting. Okay, so we're getting a little bounce. I did tweet out that this level here in the GDX, we came back to check the breakout. So that's a pretty good area to have some type of bounce in the miners. And, we're getting a little one here in the week. It's still negative, but we're getting little bounces, better bounces in AG, better bounces in FCM. But, I'm not looking for an entry in miners. As I said, they have to reset until late December, early January is when I think, we'll probably be completing this dollar rally. So we have Bitcoin, which still, I don't think that we peaked. We are beginning to diverge. We've had one, two, but I still think there's another push up in Bitcoin. It hasn't achieved the objective. Maybe we still need the emotions, but above a 100,000 close, we'll see that. But, this was my preferred short. I put it out a long time ago, and it's the semiconductors just opening underneath the support at 244. Let's take a look at some of the Mag 7, see how they're acting, because we did get a pretty ugly week. Here's Amazon. Okay, so Amazon, I thought we might get a 3, but that's looking, yeah, pretty negative here today. And let's see the weekly. Yeah, nice reversal week there. Check this out. Failing rally in Google. Okay, that doesn't look so great. Nvidia under pressure after making a new high. Also reversal weeks. So we'll see if the bears can turn it around one more time. But look at this negative divergence in Nvidia. So I'm not going to chase the S&Ps on a Friday afternoon. We'll see what happens next week. But, the dollar is a headwind for the market. And of course, yields are a headwind for the market. And why did the market ignore it for a week or so? It's kind of like an avalanche where you could have the snow piling up and it's at one final snowflake, which tips it, where things happen slowly or not at all, and then all at once. So strong dollar is not in favor of equities. In fact, I also think the global markets have been worse. So I've been looking at DAX for some of our traders, and there's the weekly in DAX. Almost looks a little better than S&Ps, but we've been moving sideways for a while here. A lot of tough calls out there. I could make a case for either way. But I did see a chart on the global stock average, and it did look like it was breaking down. So some of my preferred shorts was going to be Horton. I'm still waiting for a rally there, and I'm also looking for a rally in Airbnb to short. We'll see if we get that. And the bank stocks still look okay. They're getting ready for a third drive. So the banks are up despite the weakness in S&Ps. Seems like they like higher yields. We have moved out of inversion to yields are beginning to be tougher on the long end of the market. So that's it. I don't have a lot of things planned for next week. I have to see what the market's going to offer me. And even if the euro does rally from here, I think it's going to have trouble getting over 107. So if you recall, when I first started talking 109 in euro, I was talking about it getting down 109 in Dixie. I was talking about, this euro eventually getting towards 103, 102. I still think that's where we're going. This was really the key. You know, we couldn't even get to 110. So that was a pretty ugly week. So dollar looking good, rebound in metals. Is this the top in S&Ps or a top? They're getting on it pretty good right here. And that's kind of an ugly week. See if the NASDAQ's doing the same thing. Ugly week. IWM, very ugly week. So we'll see what happens next week. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and I'll see everyone on Monday. Have a great weekend. Good hunting the rest of the day. Adios.